Perhaps the last thing from anyone's mind when they think of the haunted or the cursed is video games. After all, this is supposed to be entertainment, a way to escape the stresses of the world and anything that may lie beyond it. Yet the world of video games has not gone untouched by the tales of the strange, haunted and unexplained. Ranging from the unknown to what is probably a urban legend, we will showcase you the mysterious 5 video games that needs an explanation. Hey guys, I'm Ishan and you're watching The Box, signing in. Number 5. Fallout 3 is a vast open role-playing game. Therefore, it would not be surprising to find that there are things within the game that many people have yet to discover. However, it is claimed by some that they have found something in the game that may predict the future. The story goes that the post-apocalyptic game predicts the future. In the real world, using Morse code and hidden messages within the game radio station. There are stations that broadcast Morse code in the game. However, some claim that you can hear a DJ on the station rambling of such cryptic phrases as "The Queen has died today. I can't believe Britney Spears actually won an Oscar." These phrases are followed by a series of numbers in Morse codes that can be interpreted as dates. Bethesda, the company that designed the game, denies these cryptic radio stations exist. Number 4. Polybius was an arcade game that mysteriously appeared in an arcade in Oregon in the early 1980s. The cabinet was completely black except for the green joystick and the logo at the top of the machine. The game combined elements of classic shooter like Tempest, mazes like Pac-Man and spatial puzzles. When played, it supposedly caused all sorts of health problems including amnesia, blackouts, nausea, seizures, headaches, night terrors, and in some cases players were reported to commit suicide not long after playing. It is also said that men dressed in all black would often be seen messing with the game, leading some to speculate that device was not a video game but a government experiment. Whether or not this insidious arcade game ever actually existed is not known. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is an expensive RPG and to this day is considered to be the best game in the Elder Scrolls series by a lot of fans. It has an expensive online community where users mod the game to add custom quests, characters, weapons and stuff. Legends has it that there is a very creepy and sinister mode to Morrowind that exists and that could potentially drive a player insane. The mode first popped up on the internet a couple of years ago and was originally thought to be a virus, as when you loaded the game with the mode your game would freeze on the title screen and corrupt all the save game files, essentially ruining the game. However, it was soon discovered that if you run the game in DOSBox, software that allows gamers to play older PC games on their modern computers, the game would actually work. When the players start the game with the mod, all the main characters in the game are already dead. Also, if you stay in one spot for too long, your health would slowly begin to deplete, and if you died from standing, a new character would reveal himself. Players took to calling him the assassin. He appeared to be a man except his legs and arms were long and bent like a spider. Players began to notice that if you paid close attention, the player could see the assassin around the corners or scurrying on the walls, but only for brief moments. Another creepy element added to the game was all the characters left living would come outside at night and just stand there. When a player would attempt to interact with one of the characters, they would simply say, "Ah, the sky." A new dungeon was also discovered. Inside the dungeon was what players called the Hall of Portraits. The hall was lined with picture frames. Inside the frames were what photos from the player's My Picture folder. At the end of the hall was a locked door. No one has ever posted proof that they figured out how to open the door. But there are some unbelievable stories of players obsessed with trying to open it. Some claim after long hours of playing they began to hallucinate seeing the assassin in real life quickly crawling on their bedroom ceilings. As fantastic as this story sounds, the creepiest part is that this mode does in fact seem to exist, but download it at your own risk. Number 2. Back in 1996, the Pokemon Red and Green video games delighted Game Boy owners all over the world. Well, except for one part of the world. The game was first released in Japan and it supposedly correlated with huge spikes in suicide and illness in children ranging in the age of 7 to 12. The children did not fall ill or commit suicide until reaching Lavender Town in the popular game. The game's score was said to be the source of the sinister ailments in children. The piercing tones of the music caused headaches, nausea, and eventually suicidal tendencies in young children. The music in the level was changed before the game was shipped overseas. The Legend of the Haunted Majora Mask game was born on the popular web community 4chan. A user posted a story about how he obtained a blank N64 cartridge with Majora Mask written across it in black magic marker.
He posted photos and videos along with the story that showed us a twisted and sinister version of one of the most beloved games of all time. Upon starting the game, the user noticed there was already a game saved file named as Ben. He ignored the save file and started a new game and noticed that all the NPCs would refer to him as Ben. He deleted the Ben file and tried to start a new game. The game became more erratic. The music would play backward and his character began to be followed by a statue of the game's main character with a creepy smile on its face. Eventually, the Ben file returned to the game. Along with it was another new file simply titled Drowned. Every time he played after the two files appeared, his character would simply die and creepy message would sprout across the screen. You have made a terrible fate, haven't you? Thanks for watching guys, and if you are new to this channel, do subscribe cause I really need your help. I'll be back with another video pretty soon, so take good care of yourself and signing out.